The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Yay. As we all fill in
Anybody
for our buddy
covering
Matt.
anybody?
No, we're not covering
Junior
7th
high
grade volleyball.
volleyball. Dang
7th grade
it.
volleyball.
We could have a special correspondent.
We could, yes.
But then here's what you'll hear. Side out comments. Side out. Come on, pull it together. You got it. Here we go. Okay, Claire Bear. Yes, yes, yes.
Do you actually know what a side out is?
Yeah.
What is it?
Side out.
Really?
So when the other team has the ball and you want your team to get it back, it's a side out.
Okay.
Right? Like,
I don't know if it's,
Get it back.
That's close, but
What's the full?
want to get it back.
Well,
you want them to be able to get it back right
If
away.
the other team has the ball and you score on their serve, it's a side out.
plus,
You can't score on
Okay.
their serve, can you?
Yeah,
Yeah, on volleyball now. So they've changed the
they changed
rules.
the rules. It used to be you couldn't score on.
Now you can even hit the net on a serve and score. What? Yeah, they've changed a whole lot
When
of
did
stuff.
that happen?
Yeah.
It's been a few years
It's
ago.
been
but
some years.
basically, volleyball matches used to take forever.
Yeah.
yes.
And now the way they've got the rally scoring, volleyball matches.
Yeah.
get
So
in, get
fun.
out.
So fun.
And the nice thing about volleyball is the officials are up on a ladder, so you'd have to actually go up if you wanted to kick one.
Well, you have one down and one up.
Oh,
So
that's
you could
true.
probably kick the down.
You could kick the down
ref,
one, yes,
but
yes, yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you would want to do that because those refs are pretty intense. If I
Well, you
learned
shouldn't do it,
anything.
period.
You shouldn't, and if you do, I think you should just be a man and apologize for your wrongdoing.
Show remorse.
Right?
Contrition.
Well, I think it's just being it like integrity. If you screw up, apologize and move on.
Yeah.
To err is human.
Yes.
But to move on like you've done nothing wrong, makes
Well,
you
and I
look
don't think
like
that's happening. And
No?
again, I've had conversations. We're of course talking about the situation that occurred at Quincy Notre Dame on Tuesday night. Official Todd Reichert was on this baseline, and Mike Dade, who had his daughter on the team, he booted him in the butt.
Impulse. An impulse.
And I did speak with Mike afterwards, but that was a private conversation. But I will say, yes, he has shown contrition, but we are still waiting to see what there's going to be. I believe the action will be taken by, if not the Quincy Public School officials, by the IHSA, because I know the official, Todd Reichert, has to file a report on this. The video has been sent to the IHSA. And also, the school district gave us a response that is pretty namby-pamby, whatever you want to say. So, and I'm waiting. I've asked for some more details. So that will be published at some point tomorrow, or as we record this Thursday. Friday, you're watching this on a Friday. Later today, you'll have something on this on Muddy River, because we still need to know what are the repercussions going to be, because we're getting to a point where we have these parents who are doing dumb stuff, and we're not seeing any repercussions.
So this was a question I had earlier, and I think I got an answer, but I just want to ask it again. High school sports, we know that they get very intense, right? Because there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into the sport, right? Whether it's the player or the parents, you spend so much time, so much effort, so much money trying to encourage, your athlete or encourage the booster programs and be a part of things like this. So we know that they are, you do get emotional about them, which is understandable. But I think there should be, and maybe there are in certain circumstances, but I don't know if it's happening in or around Quincy, that, players have to sign like a commitment contract that, they're going to be here at this time. They're going to go to the practices. They're going to give it their all. I think, and tell me what you guys think, parents should have to sign some kind of decorum or etiquette
They
contract.
do in many schools.
They do?
We had this discussion after the QND volleyball kerfluffle, and we're still waiting to see if QND turns theirs in or puts out their code of conduct. Of course, that coach, Courtney Cavitli, resigned, and they haven't hired a coach
But do
yet.
parents-
And now we're waiting to see what QPS says, because the statement basically said, well, of course we want to protect our students and our officials and our coaches. Well, then great. Then how you protect them is to have repercussions when you have situations like
But
happen.
it should also be stated up front that if you act in such a manner, you should understand that you're not going to be welcome back.
You would think.
It's easy
That
to
is
me.
I
It's
can't
very
believe
cut and dry.
that wasn't already in place before we had all these problems starting at the end of volleyball season.
Yeah.
And we had another incident at QHS volleyball on the varsity level, not your level.
Right.
And then we had this incident last week at the Quincy High girls basketball game. I know of parents who get very emotional. I wasn't emotional when I coached my son in baseball.
Yep.
But I also know parents who are emotional, and they solve it by sitting up in the nosebleeds
Yeah.
and just sit back there, and
Oh,
that way I can just, and if they get upset enough, they leave.
Yeah. I do this thing where I know that I'm loud. Now, I don't get
Really?
hateful. Shut up. But I don't get hateful, but I know that I'm too loud, so I try not to sit in behind anyone.
So you
Because I
go-
don't want to ruin their experience watching their child or their player or whoever they're there to see. Maybe they're there just to watch the game. I don't want to ruin their experience, but I know that I can't be quiet. Not necessarily hateful, but I cheer very passionately, so I like to sit in front, so I'm not screaming in anyone's ear.
I coached Alex a lot in baseball growing up, when he was growing up, but he was on a couple travel teams and then was on Y ball one year after I'd stopped coaching, and I guess we'd have to ask St. Ellen for sure, but I think I behaved myself. I don't recall saying things. Now when I coached, I yelled and stuff, and I did get in an altercation with the other coach once, and Tom Vanderboer stepped between us, and it was fine, and we all cooler heads prevailed.
Yeah, but this was
But-
before social media and everybody has
no,
to
this
say,
was
and
like,
you have,
well,
you know,
I don't know.
judges
It was-
everywhere you go. So
This would have been, Alex would have been 10, so it would have been like mid 2000s, like between 05 and 10 and 10,
Okay.
something
I
like
don't know.
that. So,
But-
I guess we had that stuff back then. Heck, I don't remember.
I don't remember, but I know that people are more apt to judge. So one of the things we were talking about earlier, and maybe you can say something as well, but one of our mutual friends on social media was saying, why didn't Muddy River cover this better, right? And I'm not speaking for Muddy River. I'm speaking on behalf of my own volition, right? Like it's, I think with the Courtney Cavittle and the Notre Dame thing, I'm not saying we kind of are trying to do things differently because of what happened there and kind of but we want to make sure that we're giving everybody a fair shake, right? And consistency is key. And maybe we've learned a couple things. Maybe we're looking at, different angles of the story, and we want to make sure that we're not just blasting people.
I think we
right?
should have, one of the things to look at is in the previous instance, we probably should have gotten some stuff from the parents and from the administration of QND before we proceeded. And we recognize that. We had conversations about that with people. So that's kind of what we tried to do here. We mentioned it. It was mentioned in the game story briefly,
Right.
and now we are waiting for QPS to give a response. QPS has given a response. It's
Not the response you want.
no, it's not that I want. It's just it doesn't.
just kind of fluffy.
It doesn't answer
Kind of
my
fluffy.
question.
Yeah.
Did you
and it was
notice-
kind of like I said. It was very vague.
I saw in that video, that, when you do these things, sometimes it is recorded. This one was recorded. The
Yeah.
game was being recorded. It's pretty clear. Is Day. Who was recording it again? It was
QND's on
Actually-
their sports network. They carry their games.
So that's where the video is being generated. That's
It's on YouTube. So
Yeah, but the QPS, some of the people that assisted him in leaving were QPS officials.
yeah, QPS people stepped in and QND people stepped in, and he was escorted from the building as he should have been. So again, the actions at the game that those on-site officials took was appropriate.
Yeah.
But now we have to have some action by some people afterwards to say, okay, what are the repercussions? Because there's got to be some.
Right.
There really does.
Right.
You just can't do that.
So I think it was a quote, and I'm totally going to screw this up because I'm not good at quotes, but I think it was Maya Angelou who said, "You do what you can do until you know better, and then you do better." Right? And I think that this applies everywhere you go. That you live and you learn, and Muddy River News does it. We do it as individuals. I think that again, to err is human, but to really just stand up and say, "I screwed up. I apologize. It won't happen again." That is where change really happens. And then the real apology is change behavior. And I think that should be kind of where we...
And again, to reiterate, they gave us a statement that we will run that statement, but I want more from them. And if they say we have no further comment, then so be it. So again, I'm not trying to craft their message for them.
Yeah.
Right.
I've gotten their first response, and I'm like, oh, okay, I still have questions. Here are my questions. So when they respond to that, I will put all of that in the story. that, or in the follow up, because there has to be some. Whether I mean, again, as this runs Friday. The Quincy High girls had a game last night at Rock Island Alleman. As we record this right now, we don't know if the parent was allowed to go back or not. Quincy High also has a home game Saturday. Will that parent be allowed to go? His daughter's got senior day coming up. Will he be allowed to walk with his daughter? I think look, let him walk with his daughter. Don't take that away from him, because he had one moment of being a hothead. But still, we have to see what those repercussions are going to be.
Right, and we also can't not say that he is a public official.
As a deputy fire chief, yes, Mike Dade is. Yes.
So we have to you right, again, human error, get it. But you have to understand that as a public official, as the deputy fire chief, you have to know that you are under a microscope every single day, and when you make mistakes, they are going to be magnified, whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent. It just happens. So I think, and again, my own opinion, apologize, move forward.
And again,
I think that's the best course of action.
In the conversation I had with him yesterday morning after he saw the video, he acknowledged the incident. So he accepted, again, not putting it, he understands.
Yeah.
So now it's just, but again, that was a private conversation that we were having.
Sure.
So, but I'm going to give him the opportunity once Quincy High gives an official, hey, this is the action we're taking, then obviously we will give him a chance to respond to that as well.
And then, after all of this, I think, again, going back to if we just had some kind of contract that parents had to sign, this would all be null and void, right? Because then you're like, well, you signed, dude, and now you're out. Sorry.
I can't believe the IHSA doesn't already have that in place.
That's weird, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, came from it's just logical.
It'll probably happen.
Hopefully it will.
Well, and then when she gets kicked out of a game sometime, you have to cover that story.
Hey,
you're interviewing her, you're writing it.
Here's where I identify with, the passion, the impulse. I'm only a 7th grade volleyball mom, and I see the passion. I know what it's like. I mean, I don't know when you get to that level, because I know the blood, sweat, and tears, and I know the money and the time and the effort, and just I know how it feels just even on a small level. So I can't imagine. I can't imagine how easy it is to just let those impulsive feelings and actions take over you. But it doesn't change the fact that it was probably not the best decision. And there are things that you can do to mitigate what happens now in the future. And I think that it's learning and moving forward. And it's easy. I think it's easy to just learn from your shit and move on. Now, if you try to cover it up and come up with reasons why it was justified, then you probably got some learning to do yet, but it
would be nice. It would be nice if he does get, like, if you call it a second chance.
Yeah.
Because there are people, public officials in that position where, like we said, you have to maintain a certain decorum, and you do not get that second chance.
Right.
If that were a QPS teacher, it's just, no, it's not going to happen. You're done. Your career is over in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that we don't have, I'm a firm believer in second chances if you do change behavior and you show that you do want to do better.
Show some grace.
Yeah, right? And I think everybody needs that from time to time. So I am 100% on board with that, but it does take a little bit of eating crow, a little bit of, you gotta admit what's wrong and then fix it.
But all I know is if I'm on the premises at a QPS facility, we know there's a guy who can take care of us, though, right? We know there's a security guy who can take care of us, though, right?
This guy, okay, there's really not an introduction that kind of like sets it up, because this guy is just larger than life. And I don't even know how to say it, but from every aspect of we talked about, security, sports, fun, impulse, passion, this guy has covered the gamut. He has run the gamut.
I mean, when you're the love child of Reggie Coleman and Dennis Oliver, what more is it?
Nothing more to say, right?
How'd that happen?
I don't know.
So our guest...
Hey, you know what they say now.
Yeah.
Our guest...
Men can get pregnant, right?
Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, also, I just want to go ahead and mention this real quick. So, the Riley Gaines interview last night.
You can't have that the conversation we have. You can't talk about that now.
No.
Okay, you're going with something else. Okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, the Riley Gaines interview with Meg Duncan. Wow.
Yes.
I mean,
she did a nice job.
Talk about an opportunity that was awesome. Yeah. And for us to be the one-on-one interview with that, if you haven't checked it out, please do. But I think that our guest tonight may rival that because he is, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, he's Q-Town famous.
Yes.
Right? All right,
Yes.
so we're not going to blow it, but coming up next, do not miss this guy, right? Right. All right.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
A&B Properties is Quincy's largest apartment rental company with hundreds of units available. They offer short-term and long-term rentals with 1 up to 4 bedroom apartments. A&B Properties meets the needs of its tenants with care, compassion, and a quality of service that exceeds expectations. A&B Properties also has a convenient tenant app for you to do your payments or make repair requests. Give them a call today. A&B Properties, 217-919-8080, Quincy.
All right. As promised, larger than life personality, Anthony Oliver. Welcome, Anthony.
Well, thank you for inviting me here.
Okay, so
that's my thing.
We talked about a number of things, and Brittany and I both decided who better, right, to have to kick off February than you. So you have been a larger than life personality. What we said for almost
community star.
Yeah, for almost every era, every stage in our lives, right?
I guess.
Yes.
I mean,
so
I don't
you
see that, but.
What? You went from so there we couldn't possibly talk about everything that you've done, but we're going to try. So let's start with I'm just going to start with just a quick timeline. So in my life, you started Blue Devil mascot. Yeah. Okay. You did that from what, 91, 92, 92?
91, 90,
okay.
91,
Graduated in 92, right?
92.
Okay. I remember you being the mascot, and I don't remember much in my life from that time period, so I'll go ahead and say kudos to that. Then you went 99Q.
Yep.
Right? You were
right to 99Q.
How did that start?
Well, I don't know. I just heard that they were hiring, and I, 18-year-old, jumped in and said, well, I was one of those. It was one of those. Well, it's funny because we had to wear those. Their mascot first. You know, I forgot. I don't know if it's the dandelion or.
It was a dandelion?
Well, it was one of those.
Some kind of flower?
Cat. I think it was commando cat.
Okay.
Well, I saw if that's okay. Starting to that, then, watching your dad, Steve-O, and.
Well, did he said something to me. He asked me to ask you where it started because, I mean, he wasn't sure himself, too. But did it start something about you pushing some buttons for some sports games, right?
Well, yeah, I think it kind of started, but I kind of snuck on in and
did what?
They said let me push the buttons.
Yeah.
But that's what kind of started. I was like, I don't want to do this commando cat. I want to be on air.
Yeah.
So eventually, Reggie and then all them just put me in and start showing me the stuff and. Ever since then, it's like, okay, you're on your
guy.
Show. Like,
you're the guy.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. But ever since then, it was a lot of work back then. When you do that kind of work back then, it's like today's stuff. I mean, you actually had to put the CDs in. You actually had the commercials, the 8 tracks, and you had to get each hour ready to go. And so it was a lot of work. It wasn't like just up there talking and doing. You
were multitasking.
Yes, I mean. And that was started during the flood was starting, and then when the flood was really going, and man, that was a lot of work where you had to, when there was tornado warnings, flash flood warnings, because you had to activate the EBS alarm yourself.
Oh,
you had to write it down. Yeah, you had to write it down, the time, if it's which warning it is, and then the AP wires going nuts. You had to highlight it, and then you had to say the radio station, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning, so you had to repeat that twice. And I think I had music on for probably 10 minutes, had to do it again because it's going to another.
Was that pressure? Like, did you feel that
Oh,
pressure?
man.
Oh, it was a lot of pressure because, you know, you got the FCC, all them listening. You know, if you miss that stuff, you could be fine.
Yeah. So now you started this when you were 18?
18.
Wow.
Okay, so I remember Anthony Oliver being the personality that, you know, when you were younger, and to little kids, younger kids, my kids won't remember this, but in order to hear a song that you wanted time and time again, you had to record it on your cassette, right? And you had to record it from the radio station. So you would have to be like ready with your play and record button on your little boombox, right? So then Anthony Oliver would come on and be like, up next. And you would say, I don't even know, let's say Janet Jackson again, right? And then you'd have to be ready with your play and record button. You'd have to hit them at the same time. Half the time you missed the beginning of the song. I mean, that was the pressure I felt.
Yeah,
but I can't imagine what you went through. So as an 18-year-old, being in that DJ booth, I don't even know if that's what you call it, but so you're there with, Steve Bull and Dennis Oliver and the big dog. I don't even know when I don't know if you guys all worked together, but
Well, just so they know they moved to another station at the time. Then,
Yeah.
At the time we had Simon Will.
Okay.
That really jumped in and done the morning show. And so it's, matter of fact, you know, I got to hear from him, you know, his favorite word is dude. And,
you say it so good.
yeah,
Dude.
you know, he got this deep voice, dude.
Dude.
And I was really shocked who called me, you know, I was like, dude, hey. And I haven't heard from years. He's up, you know, in Des Moines. And it was so great to hear from him. And, you know, it's just great to hear from the others.
The old
Ravana,
gang.
Yeah.
Ravana and all them that I used to sit there and watch, you know, listen to. So, but come with the flood, when that was going crazy, I was up there working when the guy broke the levee.
Oh, yeah.
So you had to press those
Well,
buttons.
no, I got help about it. Thank you, Lord. You know, but there's people out there at the time, and that was a lot, you know, to see what's going on, and it was really cool. You know, I was involved, but just working together was really neat. A lot of great experience because, you know, it never happened before. And,
Right.
So that was really neat.
And to be in that experience in the moment, I can't even imagine. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You experienced a lot with that, like new experiences with radio. I heard another new experience from my father was Cardinal baseball.
Oh, Lord.
So you have,
Okay, I have to tell you a story.
you have to tell me the story because he didn't tell me the story.
Okay.
He said, ask Anthony about Cardinal
Yes.
baseball.
So your dad, around the Cardinals game, I didn't know about anything about baseball at all. I didn't know what strike was. I didn't know what ball, foul.
Same.
You know, so I'm sitting there. Yeah, and I'm just sitting there like, foul, ball. You know, I'm just here and trying to guess. Only thing I know is trying to hear a break, and I'll try to turn it down and play the commercials. and you know, the top of the hour, I know the top of the hour is going to come, so I just don't get ready for the top of the hour. But, you know, when they go to an inning, I didn't know what inning means. You know? Now I said, now, Steve, you got me doing these games, and I don't even know what baseball is all about. So my buddy, Alan Ipperson, he said, let me take you to a Cardinals game. That's the old stadium. So I got the experience to really watch. He explained to me what a foul, that's foul. Okay, that's a ball because he didn't strike. You know, and I was like, okay. And eventually, at a couple of games, I got better at what I was doing.
So now you know. Do you know baseball now?
I love baseball.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That's
What's your
awesome.
team?
Well, you know, Cardinals, you know.
It's got to be Cardinals.
But, you know, my grandpa was a big Cubs fan. So I used to try to sit down and watch with him, you know, but even then, I was watching that and I didn't understand what
You're
it
like,
was.
what? Foul? I don't
feel
know.
about
Yeah.
most sports. I do understand baseball. I think the best part about baseball, though, is going in person because you get the beer
Yeah.
and the hot
Yeah.
dogs
Eighth
and
inning
the
or seventh inning
nachos.
stretch or whatever it's called.
See, I wasn't concentrating. I was concentrating of, you know,
Learning
where
the
the ball
game.
was, what strike was, what inning, you know.
So you didn't concentrate on any ballpark food?
I was really concentrating on the game because
Okay.
I didn't want to act.
So I do have a question though. So as a radio personality, are you like commentating on this game, or are you just ready to press buttons when the game is like pausing, or how do you come in like, what is your role there?
Well, the baseball, I don't know. Steve.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Hey.
He just tried to find somebody to work it.
Yeah.
You know, so
He's like, you know what?
To push the button.
He's like, get
Steve
somebody.
was.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience. It was then at the time, this was all the time that when I was working at 99Q during the game. I was sitting there watching when O.J. Simpson was getting chased on TV.
Flashback. Holy smokes.
I think I missed a commercial too. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey.
But I was really into watching the
chase.
The chase.
The chase. Yeah. The white Bronco.
Yeah. So it is. I'll tell you, it was a great time. I wish I could go back to that era.
I was going to ask. How long did you do it? 18 to.
I would say from 92 through the time I was moved to Columbia.
Okay.
So when I was moved to Columbia, I did work at a sister station there while I was also doing sergeant security at University of Missouri Hospital. So they like, wow, you really know you? I said, yeah. So I never stopped working at the radio station, Then when I came back, that's when Dorsey said, hey, you back? And I said, yes, I just moved back here. He said, yeah. He said, we need you.
They always come back.
He said, we need you on Y101. I was like, all right, okay.
Heck yeah.
So ever since then, I've been working there,
Because I think, so 99Q, for youngins who may be listening, was the radio station. I mean, it was the radio station.
I miss it. I miss the phone calls. I miss the music, period.
Yeah.
I love that 90s.
Yeah.
It was just the music. But I remember I used to get upset because it's like, no rap. There was no rap.
There wasn't.
No
yeah.
rap. There better not be not one rap song on those. So when you hear songs that have raps in it, you kind of hear the instrumental or they cut the rap part off. So, it's like, come on.
It's wild that you say that.
I do remember,
I
they
remember
would
that
release
too.
a second song all the time, like you said, for radio version.
Radio play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So who are some of your favorite rap artists?
Okay, so I had to go to this. So I was 20 years old. We went to see Salt and Pepper and Salt and Pepper and what else did we see?
Push it real good.
K7, because I still play this song. K7, come baby, come baby, baby, come.
Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come.
Yeah,
You
so
gotta give me
Where
love
did
and
you
you
see
gotta
them?
give me some.
Oh, they all were with Wisconsin.
Okay.
No, Milwaukee, Wisconsin's fair. Well, the fair,
Yeah.
state fair in R. Kelly. And
R. Kelly.
And I
Why
would tell you,
why
Hey,
are
we
you
don't
rolling
judge.
your eyes?
We do not judge. The guy has made mistakes, but he's also made some great music.
Yes.
All right? So let's just call it a day.
Wisconsin was awesome, but he was
Yeah.
a little naughty. I said, don't do that to fair. Don't do it.
Hey, I think a lot of other musicians have made some
I
mistakes,
know.
but they've also made great music. So
Yeah,
we won't
it
fault
was
you for.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. No, I just
Yeah.
say, but it was an awesome concert. And, so, I was so sad that I said, man, we can't play no rap, on the radio station. But Lovely Day, that was one of the great songs.
Lovely Day. Lovely Day.
What's it?
Bill Withers.
No, the Bodyguard.
Oh, Whitney Houston?
Yeah, the Bodyguard.
Oh.
That song, Lovely Day.
Oh.
That was one of the top hits. And, so those kind of songs I sit back. And I remember working usually overnights around 4 o'clock. I think 4 o'clock every morning. I did ask the guy play. Who was my favorite song was by Dreamin'. By who sings that song?
You got me.
I don't know.
Well, she's the
Mariah
Selena.
Carey? Oh,
Selena.
Selena.
Selena. So, but
Yeah.
and everybody's always used to want to hear that song between 3 and 4. So like people were
3 and 4
coming
a.m.?
home,
Yeah.
coming from going out and
Yeah.
they'll play
They're
that
trying to
song,
continue the groove.
dreaming.
Yep.
So that was one of the fun deals. And
So, okay, do you remember your sign-on? I don't know if that's what it's called, but you had like a
Radio name?
well, yeah.
Sign on, sign off?
Yeah, so you had like a sign-on where you'd be like, "Hey, it's didn't you have one of those?"
back there before they used to call me Sky King Oliver, and I don't know I'd be like, Sky King Oliver, sign off. But I don't know who called me
Scott.
that.
Sky King.
Sky
Sky
King.
King.
Oliver.
All
Because
right.
back then, even though I was a Blue Devil, I was a good basketball player.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I guess we was playing the ball game, downtown here, and I don't know.
So
but that was my nickname at the time, Sky King Oliver. I don't know where that
So-
came from.
So the radio personality is kind of how I got introduced to you through the mascot, right? When you were the Blue Devil.
Yeah.
Then the kind of the celebrity of you moved on with me through my years through the radio, through 99Q. And then when I turned 21, who was at Backwaters but Anthony Oliver? God. And I was like, well, hey, and you didn't know me. You didn't know anybody, but everybody knew you.
Yeah. And that's funny thing. Everybody say, "You remember me?"
No.
Yeah,
those
sure
other
I
people.
do.
Right?
I sure do. Yeah, that was another greatest time of my life working at Backwaters. Got to see a lot of people. You'd be surprised how many stars show up.
Oh,
at
famous
Backwaters.
people, yeah.
Famous people.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Like
used-
for real famous or Quincy
Yes,
famous?
No,
real
famous people.
Famous people. We used to have the
Drop names.
USA gymnastic team that showed up every year. They had a special fundraiser that went on, but they were here every year.
Then you had like famous country singers and you had
Jason
who was the guy?
Aldean was there.
Jason Aldean. Who was the guy from Poison?
Brett
Brett Michaels. He was there.
Twice.
Yep. I got a picture of I think my tongue touching his
Oh
cheek. Sorry,
my
Brett Michaels.
Gosh,
goodness.
Yeah.
you need a tetanus
Hey,
shot.
dude. Listen. I was young. He was
But-
hot.
yeah.
Done and done.
But no, but there were a lot. I mean, T-Pain.
Yep.
T-Pain was there.
That was such a great venue.
T-Pain.
I loved that.
So
venue.
again,
Okay. I'm sorry.
for younger people who don't know what Backwaters was, it was the coolest place to go. It was like a 3-story nightclub
Yes.
where Native Wings was down on
was.
Front Street, and it's where everyone who was anyone in Quincy would go to hang out, and there were live bands, great DJs,
Oh, yeah.
most amazing security guard ever, the
Oh,
bouncer,
9
right?
years of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So did you stop when it closed?
Yeah,
or?
I stopped when it closed. But another great thing. I mean, like she said, there was a lot of great bands. Man, I mean, what was the great bands today?
So you had Well Hungarians,
Well
and they're still
Hungarians.
playing today. And if you know Well Hungarians, he was always Johnny. He was always
Yes.
super freaking hot.
You always had that one shirt.
Yeah, he always had his
Salvation.
chest hair hanging out. And I was pretty partial to the fiddle player because
Okay, you know who he plays for now? He plays for Craig Morgan.
What?
Yes.
That's
yes.
awesome.
I still talk to him a lot, and so he plays for Craig Morgan. He's on his CDs.
Yeah.
Anything you hear or anything you see him live. Matter of fact, he was on the on Nashville Opryland. He
Really?
was tied with Craig Morgan.
Well, he deserves it.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude.
And I think Johnny still plays in the Well Hungarians. He has a long ponytail now,
Oh,
which
Lord.
really isn't my style. Johnny, let's go and rethink that. But no, but they were a great band. Ultraviolets were always there. They were
Ultraviolets.
freaking awesome.
Oh,
then you had
man.
local bands
Yeah,
that always
great
came
local
around.
bands. Yeah. So yeah, it was a great time. Working at Backwaters. I miss it.
I
miss
bet.
the staff. I mean, I've been through busted hand and broken ribs, broken toes.
From what?
From bouncing.
I know, but like,
Them people are like crazy.
Yeah,
did you
well,
ever
they
get in
the
actual
trick.
fights?
Well,
Yeah, all right,
yeah,
ding.
you know,
So are we just dinging?
we had to safely take them out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to remove the dangerous subjects, which,
but we were so fast at it, a lot of people didn't realize.
yeah.
We had great bouncers, that we see one going, we all there, and we keep our eye on each other, and not even looking, but we keep our eye on each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we see one that's going after, we all.
Did you like the movie Roadhouse?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that kind of crazy, but
Oh, I know.
but there were times that people did get out of control, but I learned the special techniques. You have to take them out. In non-crisis,
Yes, manner.
non-violent crisis way.
Well, and sometimes you got the ladies who are dressed in their
Oh,
mini
ladies
skirts
are
and
weird.
their tank
Oh.
tops, and you're like this.
He goes, oh, those are the worst. Those are the worst.
The girl fights were the worst.
I bet. There was probably hair and
Well,
pulling.
yeah, the hair
and
pulling. Then I go, okay, now, okay, you have to rub it. There's a certain way you rub the hands to get the hands loose.
So the
and-
security guard didn't leave you, though, because you continued on with that, right?
Oh man, yeah.
After
Yeah.
that, then where?
Well, before that, I was sergeant security at the hospital in Columbia.
Oh, yeah. And then you followed that with
Yeah.
Backwaters, and then
Backwaters.
Now you're
then
still
I was
working
at Chaddock. I was Chaddock for 10 years, which I love to work. I love working there. The kids now, they've grown up and got to hear from some of them. They're doing an amazing job. And Chaddock is a great place, and I just applaud to the people who are working there.
Yeah.
And I miss Debbie. Debbie was one of my top that I really truly miss. We just had the 10 years I've been there. You have challenges, but in the long run, it's worth it.
it was fulfilling.
It was fulfilling. And went from there to got hired at the school. And that was until now. Right now, it's a great feeling. I love it. I love working with the kids. I love working with the staff, and know where I go, Mr. Oliver, yeah. I can't go shopping without one coming up, give me a hug, And even the older ones. I'm not talking about little ones. I don't even talk about the kids in high school.
Anthony, sometimes I have to restrain myself from running up and hugging you when I see you because it's you're just that kind of dude. It's like you just, not only are you, have you been in a lot of Quincyans' lives from day one, but you're just that lovable dude that everybody just.
You want to treat them the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And that's always in my head. You treat them the way you want to be treated. So, you show them the respect, they're going to respect you back.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's what they love. Some people, they don't like nobody come up, yeah. They don't like that. We come up whisper, hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, how's
Gentle.
it going today? You doing all right? They love that. And so it's the approach that you do and you show that you care. It's the most fulfilling thing that you can ever do with these kids today, And it's just, I'm just so up to coming to work every single day. If I'm gone one day, where's Mr. Oliver? Oh my gosh, where's he
They're
at?
worried about you.
Yeah, they wondering, but I come back next day, boy. They come like a raging bull.
The thing that sets you apart from, I think, the other security guards is, like, you are the security guard that protects, but you're the security guard that pumps them up.
Yeah.
Like we said before, the woot woot.
Yeah.
I don't know how many, like, any of the security guards that I had in my school, it was, you'd go through the front doors in the morning, and, they didn't want to be there as much as I didn't want to be there.
You're just doing a job.
Yes, exactly. But I swear, I know that energy that you're putting off is...
we had great teachers.
Yeah.
You had great teachers back then. There's other teachers I got to see. One, Mr. Stewart, and he caught me at Oakland Lindsay Center. He came up and gave me a hug. And I turned around and look, and he's like, Anthony, I said, Mr. Stewart. It's just one of those amazing teachers like him, and all the other teachers I get to see. Working at the board office, they come in, and it just, we hear from them like, you was a great student. That means a lot.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you a better person, for these kids, And, I want these kids, when they become adults, I want them to remember that I was a good guy.
Yeah.
Positive and pumped.
Positive.
I have no doubt that they're going to think of you and remember you as that guy. Also, just as a general feeling, there's no one who's ever met you that doesn't take away a positive feeling. And I can assure you that. So through all of these stages of life, I got to spend some of them with you as like an Abby regular versus Abby bartender. And you're always very respectful, always very fun and lighthearted. And I think you've carried these traits, caring, just like you're very, like you said, pumping people up. You're very encouraging. You're very nice. You're very compassionate. everywhere you go. And there aren't very many people who are like that these days.
No.
So it's refreshing.
I mean, I've been through that doing auxiliary police. I've done
Yeah.
that for numerous years, over 20 years. 24 years.
Auxiliary? Yeah.
Are you still
And,
doing that?
No, I still do emergency management. I still do it. My main focus is storms.
Mm-hmm.
So we
weather
have severe-
reports.
Yeah, so if we see severe storm coming around, I'm out there.
I love
Take
your
you
weather
back
reports.
to your 93 days.
God, I love
but
his
I'm
weather
out there,
reports.
and I
You're like,
take
guys,
pictures.
look, I'm not rolling up my sleeves yet, but when I do, be prepared for a storm. I love watching your weather reports. They are amazing.
And a lot of people are like, well, there was no storm. Well, thank God. Thank the Lord. Y'all don't want no tornadoes to run through here. I mean, which it happened before, but who wants it?
Right.
I mean, the windstorm was bad enough because I was sitting at Riverview Park, rocking and rolling, watching trees going down from behind me.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy storm.
There was nowhere to go. But I knew there was something wrong with that storm when it came this way. But, I love it. I love to get out there. My main thing is to let the community know what's going on.
Yeah.
And, and try to get the emergency management at the office, get them information so they get the National Weather Service information. Mm-hmm. So now I'm out there and I used to be a kid that used to be scared of storms. If I see a lightning, I used to run and hide under my bed, under my pillows.
You did?
Yeah, I sure did.
Who else is like that? You know Alex Taylor's wife,
Yeah.
Robin? Oh, she's a chicken.
Yeah, I used to be so scared.
Sorry,
but now-
Robin.
But now, I'm sitting big lightning strikes from me. I go, woo, yeah.
Woo, woo.
Woo, woo,
You're like the guys on Twister. They're like, where is it? I got to chase it.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Well, I don't go chase it. I'm getting there to see what's going on with the storm, so I can relay the information. So I don't act crazy like that.
All right, good.
Because one thing,
Because we can't afford to lose you,
well,
Anthony.
first thing, they too close.
Yeah.
You gotta be distanced to see what's going on with
To actually
with the
get the
whole
picture.
With the whole picture there. So you never want to get too close. I mean, you're like those guys in Oklahoma. They passed. That there wasn't in a tornado, but the wind. That's the winds that got them. So you have to be very careful when you're out there and watch your areas. And plus, in the area that we at, this area that we could go to if we need to go.
Yeah.
So it's that
Safe
we out
space.
there chasing,
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, just don't go out there if you don't know the next place you need to go, if you need to take shelter.
Yeah.
We
I
know where to go.
I love the fact that it doesn't matter what he's doing. He just so much passion. It's like, oh, you're going to be the QHS Blue Devil mascot? Okay. Yeah, got this. Oh, you're going to be a radio personality? Duh, got this. You're going to be a Backwaters bouncer? Duh. Done.
Done.
You're going to be an aisles security guard? Psh, watch me.
Yeah.
I mean,
High
everything you
school.
do, it's awesome. And not to mention,
the storm.
he is. And
And I do search and rescue.
so now, and you also do so many things, Dancing with the Local Stars.
Yes. As a
You
matter
do-
of fact, I'll be at the judge tomorrow.
It's like everything you do is based around communities, based around families, based around helping other people, making sure people are safe, making sure that people understand, like what there is, what you're doing for the community, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. I think that's probably one of the reasons we wanted to have you on, because we're like,
Absolutely.
I think I say infamous wrong, because I don't want infamous to be like,
Infamous is bad. You're
bag
famous
it
for the bad way.
Yeah, I
You're
don't want
famous.
that.
You're famous.
You famous, and
I don't think I'm famous.
you
I
are.
just-
You
I
are
just-
famous.
I just like to help my
there's a
community.
reason people ask you to do everything is because you are the guy.
Well, because I just love to help the community. I do anything I can to
Yeah.
help. The Dance of Local Stars, the YWCA, Lip Sync, and things like that, and like I said, working on
Karaoke.
in Oakley Lindsay Center, I do, I love working the wedding receptions because you meet a lot of people, and
Yeah.
they just love it because when I see people sitting down,
You're gonna get up.
Make them-
You're gonna get up.
They're gonna dance.
Yeah.
So I got to grab them up, make them dance.
Because I stroke it to the left.
That's right. So it's just I just want to show people that life isn't really bad.
Yeah.
Don't make it bad. live life, have fun.
Short.
And, because life is too short, I just loving life and live life. And, when you show them that, they're going to continue to smile. They're going to continue, I look at them, smile.
Yeah.
It's okay.
He used to say that to me.
Right.
He used to say that to me every time he'd see me bartend at the Abbey. I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right, Antoine.
Yeah.
And
normally, when people said that to me, I would get angry. But if it's coming from Anthony, I
you can't
don't
be angry.
think you could be
because
angry.
he does it with so much genuine love. You're like, no, you're.
Yeah.
And he used to say it all the time. And then we would order a couple shots and we'd have a good old night. And then we would sing karaoke. Do you remember?
Oh, I miss Wednesday night.
See,
karaoke.
man. So Wednesday nights at the Abbey used to be assholes to elbows. You couldn't get through there. We were singing karaoke. Anthony in
Yes.
particular was singing karaoke. He would always sing Prince, Michael Jackson, and who sang Stroke It?
And Jeff, well, yeah, they haven't seen, but Jeff, we sit there sing Ebony and Ivory.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, Ebony and
Sorry,
Ivory.
Jeff.
Deuce said you sang that all the time, and
He had to be Ebony,
yeah.
and you had to be Ivory.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, those were the fun
Such
days.
good days. So I do have one more question.
Yes,
and Brittany might have a couple questions,
Okay.
but I only have one more. So if you go back to any era, because I feel like you have run the gamut of community involvement, fun. You've done radio, you've done community, you've done high school, you've done all of it. If you had to go back to any era in your life, what would it be?
I would say none of them because
Yeah?
I want to keep on pushing in the future
Oh,
and want to know what's going to happen in the future, and you got to keep moving because,
The best is yet to
the
come.
best is yet to come.
Yeah,
and
amen.
That's the main thing. Yeah, there's a lot of things I do miss, but I really don't want to go back. I want to move forward.
Yeah.
And keep on going. Watch my daughter grow up more, and just see her doing so excellent. And, I'm about to say this. I miss her being a baby.
Oh, don't we all?
I really, and I know she
Yeah.
How old
she's
is she
probably-
now?
She's 27.
Shout out her name.
Yeah. Aubrey, yes.
Aubrey, she's gorgeous,
and,
too.
she's wonderful. She's a hardworking like me, but just watch her grow. I do cry because I look at her baby pictures and it's like my baby, and
Goes so
I'm sorry,
fast.
Aubrey, but she has grown. Yeah, she has grown up so fast, and I'm just so very proud of her. She makes Daddy so happy.
Aww.
So
So, yeah, I mean, duh. That's like, if anybody could go back, I think, we want to continue growing, but the babies and
and my mom feels the same way about me.
yeah,
She
yeah.
She wish I was, but at the same time,
Shout
she's
out
very-
to Mama Oliver,
She's very,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she's very thankful of me, being there for her today. And she said, I think that's why God, because she said, I thought you was a mistake. That's what she always teaches me, I was a mistake. But she said, I think this is why God brought you here on this earth.
Yeah.
Because look at you now, look at the things you're doing.
Look at how many people you've touched.
And and I learned that, and I observe, and I want a better life, and be good and loving God and and love others. Even though people are mean to me, hey, I love you too.
Yeah, right?
I can't get mad
Yeah.
because hey, I want to show them I love you too, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong. That takes
It's
a lot
strong.
of strength.
It takes a lot, but you have to say that. Let them know.
Anthony, you're a strong guy. I thank you for being here. I couldn't top that any better. I do
Yeah.
want you to know that Ashley and I wore our blue for you.
Yes.
Mine wasn't
Yeah.
the QHS blue, but I
Yeah, that's
figured
all
I'd
right.
be.
That's all right.
Anytime
Yeah.
I see you, you're wearing blue
Yeah.
usually.
And a lot of people are so surprised I was a Blue Devil. I mean,
How?
a lot of them didn't know I was a Blue devil. Some of like the ones are like
People that
really
just
grow
meet
up.
you.
Yeah.
But when they watch the video, they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And the ones who became the Blue Devil, they were so psyched. That, man, I gotta have a picture with you. I gotta have a picture with you. And and that's just neat because they hear from their grandparents and all that. And he was the bad Blue
was the
Devil.
best.
I've heard it was the best.
And
I don't know who was before you, but you are the one that sticks out in my mind, and I think that you've created the kind of the foundation for the ones who come after you. Like you have to be personable and fun and awesome, and I think that I'm not going to speak for you, but that foundation that you laid as it's the Blue Devil mascot kind of helped you along your way, and it kind of everything that you have done has been like pumping up the community and pumping up everywhere you go. You're just like this giant vortex of awesomeness, and I couldn't be more proud to have you on our podcast, and I'm so glad you decided to come.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, woo woo, man. Yes, Anthony Oliver.
I want to get Bruno Mars because he put that woo woo on his Troy 4 carat, so he owes me money.
Yes, he does. Bruno Mars, if you hear that,
I said woo woo way before you
better
did,
get
buddy.
Anthony Oliver some royalties here.
I need my money.
Yeah, we're coming after you. All right, on that note, Anthony Oliver, you rock, man. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
All right.
So,